Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Kupz the Universe, and we're back with a small conversation. This one is going to be about like trauma bonds, right? So this starts when you're a child, right? The things that you see when you're a child become your biggest trauma bonds, because when you're a child, you remember them, but as you grow older, you may forget about the actual situation, but still live with the trauma in your subconscious. You see what I'm saying? So when a child is observing parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, things of this nature and that nature, right? They're intaking. I don't understand why a lot of people say do what I say and not what I do with children, when we know children's vocabulary is very, 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 very limited, right? According to the humanity and the English language that older humans know. So how would they listen to your words? They're looking at your movements. They're looking at how you do things, how you move, how you carry things, that's why you ever notice children always like mimic. They try to do things, the things that baby, once they learn how to walk, you see them trying to dance, you see them trying to, and like most likely whatever's going on in the household, that's energy is being absorbed by them. Unfortunately, that means in abusive relationships and abusive households, that's also being absorbed by them too. See what I'm saying? So, like, as you get older, what you see subconsciously becomes what you seek. So, you know how they say a lot of men usually end up with women that's like they mother pause, because I bet they in the earth world no incest ever, right? That shit is disgusting, right? But that's the saying, right? That's not really what it means. It means by a young man when he's a little boy, like a little boy. Like, when people be like, oh, he's so cute and shit like that. You walk around putting your hands up in the air to get picked up and all that, right? Like, when they're at that stage, he's looking at her and he's like, oh, my mom, like, like not like, oh, she's like fine, but like my mom is nurturing me. She takes care of me. You understand what I'm saying? That's the first nurturer. So whenever a man thinks about being nurtured from a woman, not saying his mom, like he want to be with his mom, that's nasty, right? But saying that those first impressions of nurturing, those first impressions of mothering and of a woman, because a little boy, that's a woman. After a while, it's a girl and boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how little kids get. So that's what the older, as an elder or older person, that's what they would be looking for subconsciously. Now, if their parent was a certain way, like if she was ratchet, or if she was, you see what I'm saying? That child will go toward that. With women, it usually stems out to the father figure, right? Not saying they want to be with their father, saying that the first examples of a guy moving around in their life would be subconsciously the things that they remember to look for in a guy. You see what I'm saying? Not saying that they want, you know what I'm saying? Because that's nasty too. Like, you know what I mean? So, now, if you are a person that grew up in this type of situation, right, where, it's traumas and la, 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 right? And you get older, you start looking for your spouses, right? It's gonna literally resemble the trauma that you used to, because it's something that you're used to. So it's familiar. Because it's familiar, it's like comfort, even though it's dysfunction completely. It's still comfort there because it's familiar. Because when I was a child, and some people don't even be remembering that right off the rip to catch that connection. Hold on. Right? So now the guy gets with a girl or a girl gets with a guy that resembles this trauma situation that was when they was young. And I don't mean trauma like I had to hit you or I had to like verbally abuse you. Just by observing. Because like we said, it can't be what a parent say, like do what I say, not what I do, when children vocabulary is less evolved than yours. So they're looking at it like, I see what you do, I copy what you do. Plus, remember, children always look up to their parents when they little, because when you're smaller than them, you look up, right? So you always look up to your parents. So that puts them on a higher pedestal in a way to you, because it's like, look at this giant being that, you know what I'm saying? I put my hands up and they just pick me up, and you understand? So of course they're going to do what you do because they literally admire you. Whether traumatic, whether ratchet, whether a super bad example or a super good example. Right? Just because it's a real good example don't mean when they go out there and try to get things that's familiar to what they have here, that is always going to work out. Because everything has its ups and downs, right? So the person go out getting in a relationship with a type of woman or a type of man that relates this traumatic situation from young. And this is why people stick into these situations, because they stuck with this situation. This is why people be scared to really disappear from these situations. Or if they break up from here, they still looking into other women that actually different forms, different bodies, different people, same trauma spirit. So it's the same spirit. So it's basically the same being. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I call like the trauma bond. You know what I'm saying? To seek something based on what you observed when you was at a very impressionable age. And it may have not been the right programming, but it stuck. You see what I'm saying? Now, healing, right? Healing is being able to notice that, being able to notice where it comes from, being able to sit down and breathe, right? While pondering on that and seeing exactly all of the parameters of that original trauma by looking at the person now that was then. You see what I'm saying? And basically saying, yo, this is why this is. Putting the correlations together. Yo, this is why that is. And yo, this is why that is. And you see what I'm saying? Like, so now all the relationships connect now to where you notice that it's that same trauma spirit. So now you can spot that trauma spirit, right? So now you don't blame yourself for being in that trauma, for attracting that trauma spirit. You don't, because you know that you was at a very impressionable age. And you basically, now you clear that out in a way where it's like, I forgive myself and I forgive others. You see what I'm saying? Clears that out. Boom. Now you just broke the trauma. Now you just broke the generational curse. That could be anything. You see what I'm saying? Because now when you go out to look for your next girlfriend, it's not going to have those attachments to it. Like those parameters from over here that was toxic, you're no longer going to want to bring into your new partnership as an attraction. Remember, when you was in the trauma bond, those was attractions. But when you heal, the things that you notice is toxic, you cleanse out. So now you're no longer attracted to that. So a person in your past can become unattractive to you based on you clearing your own trauma bonds, which comes from your childhood. Now you can want you. Some people at this point they would probably not even go backwards. It's not personal. It would be like, yo, I healed from things that made me attracted to you. Like what I was attracted to then was like the ratchetness and the trouble or the this, and I'm like, yo, maybe I could pull the good out of her, and yo, that's probably what God want me to do. No, I was supposed to heal a trauma bond. I know it was a trauma bond because when I was little, I did have an anger toward women when I was a child. You see what I'm saying? Which means in one of my past lives, or my past life previous to this one, probably a chick did me dirty, probably set me up, probably shot me, probably was obsessed with me, probably was mad because I didn't want to be with her, killed me. You know what I'm saying? So I healed that. But that's how you heal that. And so I seen a girl, Danica something. She does good videos. She speaks about from a woman's perspective on why men with the passports is going, right? There's a whole thing with that thing. I don't want to get into none of that, right? But her, right? This explains that. This is why a lot of men are not only getting themselves together and it looks like they're just making money, more money. This is why a lot of men are starting to hold back on they seed because they know now that the cerebral fluid that comes down out the lower chakras as sperm is us seeding you. And also, if we don't ejaculate it, we could seed ourselves. Not having a baby, but we can regenerate ourselves. Sperm cells regenerates. Could be anything. Could be any tissue. So that's the whole thing about men is like, are you even worth me busting my semen? Because I'm regenerating right now. Superhero type status shit. You know what I mean? So that's how you know when you healed, when you broke a generational curse, when you broke a trauma bond, right? I had to explain it like that because I feel like sometimes it's vague. So I just needed to break it down in that aspect. And also why when people heal, they don't tend to go backwards. Why they tend to be going forward. Why the things that they don't like, things that they don't attract to no more is not like they meant like, yeah, I'm not going to be attracted to you no more. No, it's like, oh, when I was young, this happened, so I felt like I needed to be needy, right? So it's like, no, break that. Boom. Now motherfuckers might be independent and niggas that used to like the needy him that always wanted company or like, you know what I'm saying? It may feel personal, but it's never personal. Not when dealing with God. This is growth. You know what I'm saying? This is the growth that needs to happen for everybody, actually. But, you know, it happens to those who it happens to. So I wanted to explain that to y'all, all right? That's what true healing is. That's truly breaking a generational curse, whatever that may be, whatever trauma bonding that is. That's how you break that. And then you don't even be attracted to those line of spirits anymore. It'd be the spirit in different people. You see what I'm saying? That should be coming to the light. The light of my ring. So that's how that is, right? Now, one quick thing. I do know that there was these police brothers, they was black. I do know they took another young brother out the car and went excessively ridiculous on him. Even through what they were saying, you can hear the hatred in them, right? Now, I would have expected this from some white cops. No offense to Caucasians. Shout out to Caucasians. Because when they said what they said, when one of them said about the hacking the brain, I was on them. And, you know, a lot of people do say that, you know, when there's white cops, there's all kinds of investigations and things. And that is very true. That is very, very true. Because we do know that a warrant shouldn't be... It's my man. I'm good, though. A warrant shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to knock. So when even in that one with the even though they was supposed to be drug dealers or whatever, even that no knock warrant shit that they did, and then niggas, she got killed and all that shit, and all that shit was a whole trial. Even that whole shit shouldn't even been that because they was in violation because you have to knock. You have to knock, bro. Like it's just certain protocol that you have to do, right? So boom, with these 5 cops now, man, right? With that being said, to say that I know that there are ways where they set the black man up against the black man so that the black man can hate the black man, right? But those particular officers, look, I talk unity all day. I can't say that they shouldn't be held accountable because they were public officials. They breached the peace majorly, right? So I couldn't even be mad. But you know, at the same time, America, we want y'all to hold all public officials accountable for that type of behavior. Not just the black ones, not just the Asian ones, not just the Hispanic ones, but the Caucasian ones just as well. Like, if a person has a racist tattoo toward African American peoples, and you know that, they shouldn't be hired as a public official. It's just certain signs. And we know that a lot of COs, a lot of police officers got signet tattoos that represent some racist shit. But they didn't kill nobody. It wasn't a Caucasian. It happened to be black. But you know those black brothers was highly influenced by Caucasians, meaning that they wasn't good around their own people. They probably lived their life around Caucasians more. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying the fact that the way they talked to that young black man was like they was completely different from that young black man. The fact that they wanted him to listen was the fact that they didn't have the authority and the control and that we are the nationals, sovereigns, we know. So when they display these type of things, it's like, I'm not angry though. Okay? Rest in peace to that young brother, and my prayers go out to his family. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not angry. I will not get angry because the news always shows this, and it just happens. And the fact that, like I said, they black, so they want us to kind of, be happy that they basically charge some black people. But those black people deserve that shit. Those particular police officers, public officials, no race included, those public officials, no matter how their skin color looked, deserve that, because when they saw a skin complexion that looked just like theirs, they wanted to destroy it. And that's not unity. So if this is the future of our skin complexion, then I'm going to stop talking this unity stuff for real, because it's obvious. It's too many wedges between us to make us unify. Anything that could be a wedge. We literally look for things to become the wedges. And it's stupid. And I'm not stupid. And it's retarded. Retarded is y'all not trying to change it. You see what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm not the one to be stuck in a cycle. So I'm not going to be dealing with it. I'm not going to be, you know what I mean? Y'all could keep dealing with this for the rest of eternity if y'all don't wake up. And that's all I got to say about that. So, yo, it's your boy Kupz the Universe, a.k.a. Poet Lounge, a.k.a. Petey Mossberg. It's been real. Nothing but love to y'all, man. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to comment. Sure, bro. Some love, man. I need y'all, man. I need y'all to help the algorithms go, man. I be asking. But, you know, I'm so independent, and I don't want to have that burden on y'all. I don't want, it's your free will. Like, I feel like if I said that and now y'all did it, it wouldn't have been genuine. Because I feel like I've interfered with your free will. So if you don't like it, you don't want to like it, you do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I still hope these words bring some kind of change to your life for the better. Because you can't hide it. It will change you and make you a better person, period. So, catch y'all when I catch y'all, man. Peace.